Yo, what is up? Happy Monday, guys. Today is June 17th, 2024. Let's jump into the charts. Let's see what's happening inside the markets. Let me share my screen real quick. Pull this up. Get some things pulled up here. Da, 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 da. Perfect. Awesome. So, guys, let's pull up the total market cap. Our first episode, we kind of really broke down what fibs are, how they work, what happens. And we can see right now as we're on here, we got Bitcoin looking like it's moving down to this 64,441 level, which we've kind of been waiting for, been looking at. But let's go ahead and take a look at the total market cap. We do have some down movement, right? We're testing this. Let me see here. Looks like we're testing, what is that, $2.25 trillion. And again, that's here on TradingView. Every single place, whether you go on Coin Market Cap, Coin Gecko, they're all gonna report slightly different numbers. What's going on, G? And yeah, looks like we got some downward movement. Looks like we're holding this level. Honestly, I wouldn't see a problem with us coming down here and touching this zone again. It would right now, there's a lot of, I would say, greed in the market. I think this level here is going to take out some of that greed. We're going to recreate a little bit of fear. People are going to be scared. You're like, what's going on, brother? My crypto's going to zero again. But that's not the case, guys. Just be patient. I would not be surprised if we did see the market come down here and touch these levels. What is that? About 2.1 trillion, and let's see, about 2.15, 2.16 almost. What's up, G? Can you hear me, bro?
Yeah, I hear you. How's it going?
Good. Is this better than my other mic?
Yeah, definitely.
Uh,
I need to get
Sick.
myself a new one.
Dude, this one is dope. I feel super fancy. But
It looks nice.
yeah, bro, it's sweet. It's super sweet. But let's see. Let's pull up Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin. We're kind of looking at the same thing. Got here these bigger, thicker lines are from a bigger time frame. We're looking at a bigger scale. So honestly, I think we're gonna hold above that 56,306 level still. We came down here, almost touched it, kind of missed it, but personally, I think we're probably gonna continue to hold that. And same with this, guys. I mean, we're gonna kind of stair step this thing down. A lot of people might not understand what that means or what we're doing. So realistically, right, we utilize the fibs, but we put the levels on there. And the reason we put these levels is because the market's going to stair step them. You can already see, right? We kind of resisted here, boom, broke through. And this last candle is just recent coming down. Like we were above here probably like an hour ago. So Bitcoin's dropping a little bit again. We'll see how we play off the $64,441. If anything, I think we're going to move down to the 61.8% fib level, looking at like 62K. But you got to just be patient, guys. Got to be patient. A lot of these projects are back in beautiful zones. Compound.
I just pulled that up. That's funny.
Yeah, bro. Compound. Aave.
I
A
was
lot of
thinking the
these
same exact thing.
compound, Aave, you got Uni. Uni kind of ran a little bit, actually. She ran. We'll see. I think we could we got the market coming down too. These last 2 days have been a little bearish. It looks like we've lost maybe a couple percents here, maybe five. Oh my goodness, way more than five. About 15 to 17%. So I don't know. We'll see. I think if Uniswap will probably hold one of these levels, considering it's already dropped 20%. But I mean, even if it didn't stop there, bro, I think if we came down to you know, down to here. I think that's still wouldn't like $7, about 7.9 and 7.3. I think that zone still looks pretty good. Um, but yeah, we'll see, man. I think we definitely got to see what we're gonna do off these levels first before we consider the other ones. And right now, I mean, it's kind of quiet in the market. We don't have a lot of news coming until
Yeah.
really the next CPI, the CPI reports, all the other typical news reportings, things that they do pretty much monthly or bi-weekly or weekly. Um, Other than that, like the only major things I could think of, right, is the inflation rate. You look at the inflation, I actually think this is hilarious because they reported it at like 3.1%, I want to say. And just to break it down for you, this is really, really what we're looking at. Let me pull my phone here because I have it on my phone. Um, so since Since 2021, January 2021, eggs are up 50%, 49.3 to be exact. Gasoline is up 47.8. And these are all since January 2021. We have airfares up 32.7%. Electricity is up 29.3%. And if you bought Bitcoin at that same time frame, you'd be up about 105.6%, meaning you're protecting your purchasing power, right? Because everything else hasn't hit 100 yet, right? Eggs are up 50%, but capital is down, meaning any money you hold, you're better off buying eggs than the US dollar. And that's where people might not understand it. The average person doesn't know where we're heading. What's happening right now with money, bro, is scary. It's super scary.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a weird time. I know the oil industry, like Saudi Arabia, just actually moved away from the US dollar. They're going to use any currency they want, pretty much. Each country can use their own currency, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it, it was really a deal they made way back in the day. I want to say over 50 years ago, maybe longer. I don't know the exact time frame, but the US made a deal ultimately, and Saudi Arabia made all their deals in US dollars, meaning they buy, sell. Anybody that buys the oil is buying it in US dollars. So even if you're China, you got to bring our Chuck E. Cheese token, forget the yen, right? They don't care about the yen. Saudi Arabia wanted the USD. Well, now they don't really want to hold it because what? It's losing value. Why would you want to hold something that's losing value? If anything, they're going to start buying Bitcoin and requesting Bitcoin for payment for this oil. And what's crazy is a lot of people don't understand oil is liquid energy. When oil became Standard Oil back in the day, and you can look this up, Standard Oil came around, it was liquid energy. Imagine you have nothing, no liquid energy, no oil, no petroleum, no gas, right? You're using freaking wood, you're hamster wheels type technology. And then when oil comes along, look how fast and how far humans have came since Standard Oil. Oil gave us liquid energy, machines. We could use gas, all these different things that played effect. Now you look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the same thing, but Bitcoin is digital energy. Oil is liquid energy. Bitcoin is digital energy. And Garrison did an amazing job covering digital money and all the power it requires in one of our podcast episodes, which is actually dropping, bro. It's actually dropping tomorrow. Not that episode
Let's
specifically, I don't think,
go.
but the
Yeah, I
first
think that one's
episode.
episode 2 or 3.
Absolutely, bro. So, but yeah, people don't realize that Bitcoin is digital energy. You had liquid energy back in the day, which was oil. And now, guys, we're in a place where all these fiat currencies are crashing. They're losing value. I seen the other day that there was a article actually from Argentina. I believe it was from Argentina. Let me pull this up really quick. Um, where is it at? Argentina. Da 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 da.
Yeah, it's very interesting out there right now.
Yeah, bro, it's scary.
But
Right
yeah,
here.
while
So
yeah, go ahead.
Argentina has the lowest monthly inflation in 2 years, right? Normally, their money loses about 8% per month. Bro, if you have $100 in 3 months, right? 8 times 3, you lost what, 24 bucks, 21 bucks? I don't even really
Yeah,
know.
it's
24 bucks, yeah. So you think about it, like, dude, imagine monthly. The US is not far off from this. So Argentina's monthly inflation rate has plummeted to its lowest level in 2 years, registering at a modest 4.2%. Imagine you're like clapping for yourself because you have a 4.2% inflation rate, meaning they're printing so much money that it's losing 4% minimum a month.
it's
When normally,
ridiculous.
so in May, that was 4.2%. In April, the month before, was 8.8% inflation rate just for the month. It's insane, bro. Absolutely insane. And what people don't know and understand is the US dollar is in the same, maybe not the same exact boat, but they're in the same type of boat. They're sinking and their holes might not be as big, but they are going down and those holes are only going to get bigger and more water is going to come on quick.
Yeah, it's just a race, like almost to the bottom at this point. Um,
Yeah, man. And really the first country to use their money printers to buy Bitcoin is going to win, bro. They're going to win. And here's the US dollar. We got it losing some value here, right? It's coming down. It's kind of playing in the range, but this is the dollar index. Now, when you look at places like El Salvador has a Bitcoin standard, a Bitcoin strategy, but they buy about, I think, one Bitcoin a day or a month. So they have some type of strategy where they're or a week. You have to look it up, but they're buying Bitcoin with their country. Now the problem is their country they never had their own currency. They use somebody else's currency. So they don't have money printers. They have to gain wealth and turn their wealth into Bitcoin in order to keep doing that, right? The US could just print and buy. Other places can just print. Argentina can print and buy. El Salvador can't. And what's crazy is, guys, they were the number one murder capital in the world. It's now safer than America there since
oh,
Bukele, I think his name is, but I might be pronouncing his name wrong, but that dude has absolutely shifted the number one, not even just the economy, but also their whole structure. Simply, right? And this is why I brought up Standard Oil. You look at Standard Oil, what happened when we got machines? We we went up drastically in production and in innovation, inventions, creation. So look at the same thing with Argentina. They've had the Bitcoin standard for how long? Not long, maybe 2 years, bro, I think. But for roughly 2 years, we'll call it, maybe longer, for 2 years, and they went from the highest murder capital in the world, and they're now safer than America because
wow.
of not just Bitcoin, but also the people in power that are choosing to use Bitcoin.
Sheesh.
Facts, bro. It's crazy. But is there anything you wanted to cover? Is there anything specific you wanted to look at?
No,
Um,
I don't really have much really specifically.
huh?
One thing I did kind of want to show, I don't know if you still have a few more things you want to cover or not, but
Nah, bro.
like kind of how we trade. I know you kind of broke it down really well last time.
Yeah.
So I'm sharing my screen.
Let me see. I
Um,
gotta make you a host. You're good.
so I want to show that it like kind of works in the stock market and things too. So,
Yeah, bro. Once you learn how
ch-ch-ch.
to analyze or read a market, you can trade in any market. Each of them
Yeah,
are gonna
it's
play
not
a
just
little differently.
cryptocurrency that this stuff works. It's obviously everything's going to move a little bit differently. Can you see my trading view here?
Yeah, I can see it.
Put my screen right here now. All right. Sorry, I'm moving things out of my way on my screen. Can you go over there? Yep, cool, thank you. Okay. So let's just take a look at, let's just go, yeah, let's just go look at Apple. Apple's been on a tear, it looks like this year. Yeah, pretty much. But as you can see right here, let's see what happened. Let's take it from this low. Oops, kind of missed that low. I personally take it from wick to wick, depends on what you want to do. Um, Now let's go. Yeah. So this take the low to the high, comes down to the 382. It made a push back up, didn't quite break. It went a little bit higher, but not much. It came back down to close to the 50%, but let's go down onto the daily time frames because it'll be a little bit easier to read. This is the only thing I don't like about the stock market is there's always like gaps in the charts like this.
Yeah, bro, those gaps suck. It's because of honestly the opening and closing of the market. So when they open it, the market, all of a sudden there's tons of orders and they instantly get filled because they're ran by robots now. And the market literally
Yeah,
opens at a higher or lower place because of all these orders that are being placed. For example, they could be happening right now, but nothing's gonna happen until 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
right. Yeah, true. So yeah, you see it goes all the way up, or well, take the low to the high. It's a little trend here. Comes back down to the 50% 618 zone, bounces back up, doesn't quite make a way. Take it from the high to the low here.
Perfect touch.
Wicks right off the 786 back down. Now what you could do is go here completely pretty much. Let's get rid of this. Zoom in a little bit more. From back to this low to this high, this is where that selling pressure showed up. Um, Pretty much lost a lot of support. It came back down. It blew past the 886 zone, but a lot of buyers showed up really quick. So that's kind of bearish, you would think. And as you can see, it comes back up and falls. So now I'll take a Fibonacci from here. You see when maybe you wake up this day, or maybe you're looking at it this day, you're like, oh wow, went up a little bit. Let's see where we could possibly see some selling pressure. Take the low to the high. Maybe you want to put a sell in here because you entered, I don't know, down here and you're up. So maybe that's when you want to sell. You're looking to scale out of the market. Hits the 50% 618, falls back off. Now take it back to the big move. It went a little bit lower than the 886 here. But let me zoom out a little bit more. But it's still holding above this even bigger move. Let's go out on the weekly now. Because again, the weekly time frames are going to be the strongest. It's still held above 50% on this weekly move from December of 22, January 23 up to July of 23. So that's a pretty big move up. That's a trend for sure. So that's why you take it from the low to the high. We were in here just trying to find the smaller moves. Find little, maybe if you're taking leverage trades, you'll be trading on smaller time frames. As you can see, it just kind of gives you, like Tyler said, it's a stair stepper. It just gives you direction. You break it down more and more as you can keep going all the way to the minutely into keep going all the way to the minute chart if you really wanted to. Um, but let me go back over here again to the
These
daily.
apples dropping, bro. On the minute chart, it looked bad.
It kind of did, yeah. It looked
Dude,
like it was kind of gaining some traction though.
yeah, it did, but it looked rough there for a second, bro. It just
Yeah, well,
dropped.
let's do something really quick. So,
Yeah,
towards the end of this call, I don't know if you have anything else. Let's see. Maybe we'll look at this next week.
yeah, bro. We can run it
Actually,
back to
yeah.
some
So let me go
stocks.
out. Let's act like we're gonna take a trade right now. So let's go to the 30-minute chart. I'm gonna keep going out again to the daily. So we're way up here. Yeah, I mean it's about time for a retracement. Look at this.
Facts, bro. God dang. And plus, recently there was that news too of them utilizing AI, which also gave that spike in Apple's price because the new phones and the new iOS 18 is going to have Chat GPT
Oh
incorporated in, I
yeah,
believe.
yeah. I saw
So
that, and I don't know if it's confirmed or something yet.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I know Elon was not very happy about it. So
Yeah, and there's certain reasons because they're promising for a certain thing, but they can't even protect your privacy. So like
yeah, it's a
it's a
little
whole
weird.
thing.
I
But
don't
yeah,
necessarily agree with it.
Elon was a major against, and it's funny because Elon helped build OpenAI.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he knows probably the downsides to this.
Used to be a non-for-profit
Oops.
organization, and then once he left, it got things flipped.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. So I'm gonna take this back down to here on a little bit of a smaller time frame because I do expect this to kind of retrace. Like we're pretty far up here. I can come back out again and do a Fibonacci extension to see. Go bam, bam. Yeah, so look, Fibonacci extension really did bounce off our 382. It never came back and hit the 50%. Struggled a little bit. finally found some more buyers here, and it came back and hit our Fibonacci extension perfectly. So now we zoom in, go to the daily. That's why I found this. That's a big imbalance right there. And then let me put a line on this too. And then that's where a lot of sellers have showed up. It was their the top of the Fibonacci retracement there, 127% level. And then let's go on to the 30-minute here. Yeah, honestly, I'd take this is a decent position. I would have more tried to enter it up here. I might not take this anymore, but this came down. You would look for kind of something like that if you're entering for a trade. Stop loss, maybe you're like right here. If you want to have it a little bit bigger, go there. Typically, you look for a 1 to 3. Some people look for 1 to 1s. Um, I personally like a 1 to 3. So I think that's possible right there.
Yeah, and I think like one thing to keep in mind too, especially when trading multiple different, if you're going from stocks to crypto to forex, you got to understand the volatility in each market too. This
Right.
is where analyzing the chart, right, is all similar, all the same, but you got to keep in mind the volatility, right? That move down for stocks is a pretty drastic move. In crypto, forex, you're like, oh well, dropped to 30%. And in stocks, you see something move 5, 6, 7%. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah, see,
You
like
know, like
that looks
it's
like, yeah, exactly. Like the stock market's not going to move as fast. So like, let's see, let's go out on the daily and see. Like this is a crazy move right here. This is probably
yeah.
that news.
Yeah, measure that, bro. I want to see.
Last Tuesday, I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because
measure it.
I
I want
think
to
that
see how. Keep going all the way to the top. The next one
7%,
too.
then all the way the next day. Oops, I gotta move my,
That's
that was
huge in the stock world,
14%.
bro.
Yeah,
That's
no, that was
huge in the stock world.
crazy.
And you know what's crazy too is when you look at the S&P 500, there's only about 7 or 8 companies that are actually profitable in the S&P 500. Um,
Yeah, this
and
this
Michael
chart's
Saylor, I think Michael Saylor is one of those who goes into depth and kind of talks about it. Um, but yeah, it's super interesting.
this chart's wonky.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, but look, like you could scale this out. Like, let's go down here, find why these buyers showed up. This is on the monthly time frame, so each of these candles are a month. Low
2008 looked rough.
to the high. That's when oh yeah, yeah, 2008 gets rough. Um, bam, 618 zone. Didn't quite hit our 786. Stock market's slightly different, but
But but what's crazy too, bro, is you look to the right. In 2008, when the market bottomed out, it actually hit that zone that we were waiting for.
yeah, true.
Perfectly
Like
touched it.
just touched it.
Yep. In
And then
which
you could,
again, when you look at any market, like that's so normal to see moves like
oops,
that, which the average person would see that and like, right, they're in a recession, blah, 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 blah. Recession and a retracement are very similar. Recession is perspective, right? If you
yeah,
bought at the top in 2009, 2007, you freaking wrote it down, you're in a recession. But what if you bought in 2010, right? When it was at bottomed out,
like right
right?
here. You're maybe you're buying
Yeah.
right here in 2095. You rode it all the way up to here. Why wouldn't you sell? A lot of people probably did, rode back down.
Yep.
Um, maybe you didn't even buy in yet. You're like, all right, no, I'm gonna wait for my entry. You want the market to come to you. You wait there. 2008, things are getting a little weird. You're hearing some weird stuff about the housing market. Um, you don't want to get into the market. Maybe you have cash and gold. Bam, 2008 housing market crashes. Wicks all the way down here to March of 2009. This is the one we were waiting for because we bought down here. It rode all the way up. We took our Fibonacci from the low to the high, and bam, 786, perfect. Now, now look, you can even see why some sellers are showing up right here. From this high to this low, sellers showed up at the 786, not too many. Buyers overtook, which that was what was going on in 2012 and
It was
14.
inevitable, bro. Everybody's buying money. The market starts coming rebounding.
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah, I
have
mean,
the
we were like 2008 was one of the worst times in our country, or in 2009, like everything was bad, so every money was flowing back around. Market continues to go up for the next couple years.
yeah,
You're
they're
not
gonna
going to be able to predict how high it's going to go. That's just price discovery. Um, but you can look for re-entries on dips. So let's go back up here
And this is where
into,
pattern recognition comes into play because again, you can utilize the same fib tool, but each market's going to utilize a different pattern, right? Sometimes they're always going to hit the 50%. Sometimes they most of the time come down to the 78.6 to 88.6. Sometimes they're just touching that 38.2% fib. So each market again is going to have its own patterns that it repeats time and time again. You break them down on smaller time frames or larger time frames, but either way, those patterns are going to continue to repeat themselves on each market.
I feel like the stock market loves a good 50% retracement.
Yeah, bro, it does.
And like this is on the weekly time frame. So 2020, I think this was COVID. That's the COVID candle right there.
Yep.
Um, let's take this ruler here, down 35%. Actually, I
Sheesh.
missed a little bit.
And
So,
then what happened, right, is they print all this money and
yeah,
money flows back
35.
into the market, which makes it look like it's increasing. And this is really what you're seeing over time is the amount of money being printed. And the money that gets printed gets put into where? Into assets, into commodities, into stocks, anything that's going to make people money. Now you can see that same thing with COVID, right? COVID drops, people panic, but things are going out of business. Like, frick, I need my cash because everybody's panicking. Well, what happened
Right.
is they start giving everybody money, the PPP loans, all this, and then what happens is they start buying back into the market. They put money into the market, but the thing is it's not necessarily increasing in value, right? Because if you look at its yearly increase, it's really only competing with the cost of capital, which is inflation, the devaluation of money due to the fact that we keep printing it.
Yeah, that's that's why the markets go up. There's more money in there, more people are putting it in.
And same thing
So,
with Bitcoin. Bitcoin could go ultimately to whatever price, almost any price, right? The more fiat currency we print, the higher potential price Bitcoin has because there's more money in circulation to put into a new market. Imagine Garrison and I create a bowl and people can come and take Cheerios or put Cheerios in there. Eventually that bowl is going to be empty because everybody's going to want Cheerios, right? They're going to get hungry. They want Cheerios. But the thing is, in a traditional cereal bowl, right? If we're referring to that, the pour never stops. With Bitcoin, there's 21 million. And everybody that wants it, right? There's all this money in the world. The price of Bitcoin is going to ultimately be reflected by the amount of capital that gets put into its market, obviously, but also the amount of fiat currency that's printed because the first country to use their money printers to buy Bitcoin wins.
exactly.
And by
I
wins, they're
agree.
the reserve.
I agree that
They become the
like well, let's think about it like this. When gold came around and we decided to do fiat, I mean, we actually already went over this in one of the podcasts. So maybe we should we'll direct people there. Actually, well, let me just hit it real quick. So gold, we took everybody's gold. We're like, hey, we'll give you this paper for gold. We we printed money to buy gold. We won. We've been winning for the past 100 years, I guess you could say.
148.
Yeah. Now who's gonna do the same thing with Bitcoin? Who knows? We'll
And
see.
and to take it back, bro, actually, because I pulled up some stuff on El Salvador. So El Salvador adopted their Bitcoin strategy, and Bitcoin became legal tender in September 7, 2021. Now, what's also cool is uh Naya, I don't know how to really pronounce his name exactly. Oops, I just went full screen. I lost what I was seeing. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he was actually just what are they term? Yeah, so he got sworn in for his second term. So pretty much the people voted him in. They said, "Yo, we like him. We want him to stay." So he did. They voted him in. He got sworn in. And 2 weeks after he just got sworn in, Buddy's like, "Yeah, we're gonna launch a Bitcoin bank." And now they're launching a Bitcoin bank in El Salvador. So 2 weeks after being sworn in, he continues to make waves in the financial and political world by considering more extensive financial services for Bitcoin investors. Pretty much what they're going to do is have a private bank, PBI is what they're calling it, and where they can diversify the financing options offered to potential investors in dollars and Bitcoins. So not just valuing it in the fiat currency, but Bitcoin itself, the the apex asset, the apex property, the apex money. But yeah, bro, that's pretty much all I have for today. Is there anything else you want to cover?
No, not really. I marked a few more things up here. So let me explain
Yeah.
that really quick. Share. Um, so yeah, like back again here, like just the stair stepping. Like we tracked it all the way from 1990s, early 1990s. We figured out why it came back here to this level. This was a support level. A lot of buyers were probably waiting here. Ran up again. COVID candle, wicked back down to a 786, goes back up 50%. We took it from the COVID candle back to the high in 21, 50%, ran back up. Now this is kind of where it's a little bit hard. Me and Tyler used to talk about this a lot, like who told you the bear or the bull market would be a little bit harder? Um, it's hard to say when the market's going to retrace because there's no history over here. There's nothing to tell us if sellers or buyers are waiting here. Probably sellers. Wouldn't be surprised if we wick from here. Maybe we go down. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's not that much. Maybe it's like to this level here, back up. But that would be, yeah, that would be a good 50% 618 right there, back up. So maybe that's what happens. That's with the S&P 500. We'll see what happens. We'll check back in on this next week. Um, we'll zoom in back on this again really quick, just so you guys can see this one more time. This is kind of an ideal setup here for a leverage trade. You would have want to entered more up here. Like if I since I looked at this, I probably wouldn't take this because it's already made a move a little bit. So, um, but yeah, so you just got to be patient, watch the market, scale it, read the history, take the emotion out of it because it's going to go up, it's going to go down. You just got to ride that trend line.
Facts, bro. Yeah, it's definitely going to. The market will always retrace. And some people will call it recession and some people will call it a retracement. It depends on where you bought in, right? Everybody, if you buy in Bitcoin at 70K and it dipped, right back in the day, 60K, it was like 66K and it dipped. Everybody's like Bitcoin's going to zero. It's broken, recession. When in reality, right, we're all looking at it like, dude, this is the retracement we were looking for. So yeah, bro. With that being said, guys, read and react. Don't guess and gamble in the markets. And we do these every single Monday. Monday market update, Monday market analysis. We do these 10 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern Alpha. And we'll see you next Monday, guys. Peace.
Let's go. Peace out.